Welcome to the Mojo Market Report. Here's your hosts, Dave Sturchio and Chris Gueci.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition and episode of the Mojo Market Report right here on a very, very, very positive Thursday. We both came into the office today here at Chop Studios, very excited because baseball is back, and I know Mojo is right there. We're going to get some baseball talk brewing in the next, I guess, couple weeks, you would assume. But, yeah, very excited. Opening day, always a good refresher. In case you guys weren't aware, it is Dave Sturchio. It is Chris Gueci here.
I'm powering through my whatnot hangover right now. Woo!
Yeah, you guys were on late last night. You know what's funny? I saw the notification that you went live, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to go watch. And I didn't get a chance to watch. And then like 2.5 hours went by, and I was like, I wonder if they're still on. And they were.
We
great,
rolled till like
great.
1.
When are you going to start breaking some baseball stuff? Baseball stuff.
We did that 2 days ago.
That's right.
And I opened up a baseball jersey yesterday. It was a Shane Bieber the other day, and then...
Ooh, okay.
Who was it yesterday?
Interesting. Anyway, the Yankees take the field today at 1 o'clock, so we're going to be excited for that. Glued to our TV while we do some work over here at Chop. Volpe taking number 11. You cool with it?
I am cool with it.
He actually called Gardner. I love that.
He did not need to do that.
He didn't need to do it, but he did it, which makes you like love this kid even more. I mean, for me, that's just a respect thing. Absolutely.
I get it. It's cool.
Gardner was there for like 40 years.
Gardy was probably like, dude, I don't, thanks, but.
They released me. I'm officially done.
I batted 220, right?
No. What do you think his career batting average is?
250? 7?
257. All right. Well, we'll have to do, you know what? Now I'm actually curious. Go look it up because I'm curious. All right. Anyway, lots to get into today. More news coming from the owners' meetings as they're wrapping up over there. Yesterday, we went over the new rule changes that we're going at. Don't even say
256.
Shut up. 256?
Yep.
Wow. How are you off by 1? Did you look it up before?
Come on, bro. That's disrespectful.
He looked it up before. Anyway, the NFL owners and coaches meeting is wrapping up. More news. What?
Go ahead.
More news coming out of specific teams that affect your stocks over on the Mojo market because of the fact that there was some quotes from Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Tennessee Titans. He comes out and says, hey, Tannehill's the guy. You read this on RotoWire, you said? That was your source before we totally botched that. But anyway.
It was RotoWire. That was a funny joke because that's an inside joke between me and Dave. But, yeah, RotoWire, nobody cares about Ryan Tannehill started. We all know that just means that they can't get rid of Derrick Henry right now because they don't have a receiver and they still don't have a quarterback.
None of those running backs got moved that we thought was going to happen.
And they're not.
Do you think there's going to be draft day stuff? Like Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, guys like that?
I think maybe post-draft day moves. I don't think any running back is going to get moved on draft day. At what point do you see a maybe day 2, maybe day 3? But I can't see anybody taking a second-round pick and saying, you know what, I want a running back that's had maybe 1,000 carries over the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, a lot of wear and tear.
It makes no sense. It's like it goes against everything that the NFL represents over the past. I mean, just look at the last month. Everyone's on the block. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Zeke is available. You name these guys, they're all available. Nobody wants them.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings still want Dalvin, and the Tennessee Titans still want Derrick Henry because they're still there.
They're stuck with.
I don't want to say stuck with. If somebody
listen,
there'd be a team out there that would give them a 3 or a 4 to get these guys, and they just don't because of the financial hit. That's what it is.
If the Vikings were offered a 3 right now for Dalvin Cook, they would jump on it in a heartbeat.
I'm very surprised that nobody is because this dude is serviceable, man. He's been banged up. Don't get me wrong. He wore a harness the entire year last year because of a shoulder injury. But he's still in there. He didn't miss many games.
So realistically speaking, with the defense the Vikings have right now,
brutal.
As we're looking forward towards the next season, does Dalvin Cook put them over the hump? Are they a Super Bowl team with Dalvin Cook?
No.
Right? Are they going to pay Dalvin Cook after next year?
Dude, just based off of what I've seen with this running back market, I think the running back market completely shifts downward after these guys are up. Like, it's no longer look at the contracts that are being given out, man.
It could shift.
What?
I don't know how much more downward it could shift.
Oh, it could shift downward. I mean, the guys are getting $6 million a year as opposed to what Zeke was getting 16.
It's just going to be basically stuck. Well, it's already shifted downward in that regard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
Saquon's
it's
not
going
even
forward
getting
now.
money.
Right. Exactly. It's going to be going forward. Once McCaffrey's contract is up, they're not going to have to go.
Cautionary tales.
By the way, here's your new contract, and it's about half of what it was. You don't like that? Guess what? We're going to trade you out of San Francisco.
better yet, watch. We're going to try to trade you. We're going to give you permission, like Austin Eckler got, to go seek a trade.
Another
and
one.
Nobody wants him.
Another one who wanted out, who looks
the only
to
ones
me
that
he's
want
gonna
him are his coaches, where they're like, well, we don't want him to go because they're not the one that are worrying about paying.
Yeah, Kellen Moore gets a brand new
but
gig.
When you look at it,
like,
when you look at what Eckler has done in terms of touchdowns,
scores every day, every game.
And the contract, he's done more for his team than anybody besides
Correct.
Danian Tomlinson.
And they're trying to
history
justify his
of the
contract,
Chargers.
which is insane.
Well, they can't.
I know they can't. Now, with this Tannehill announcement, not so much announcement, it's just been like he's trying to clear the air as variable, saying that Tannehill's our guy, he's been our guy. What does this do for Malik Willis? Because I look at him last year, opportunity saw itself, his stock goes up, he gets in the game, he puts out a performance. Not the best passer in the world, but also he can run. He's a la Lamar Jackson-esque, right? But if they're sticking with Tannehill here, do you think the Titans are having any kind of drafter's remorse on taking Malik Willis? Because it's like, I don't even see a future for this guy over in Tennessee. I obviously know they drafted
First,
him.
it's definitely a reach. Obviously, I know you don't think that Malik Willis is anywhere near as good as Lamar, right?
No.
Like, there's an element of like he could run, but I would say that it's more like a McNabb that can't throw as well than a Lamar. Lamar's like a freakish talent.
I still see 60-yard bombs for McNabb in my nightmares. So I know he can throw.
I think what they could be really it means for Malik Willis is it's saving his career. If they gave him the keys to the ship next season, it would be a bad situation. He's not ready yet. They need more time to get him ready and find out if he's going to be the guy. Because last year the sample size that we got, it was like, whoa, he's not there yet. And when we've talked about this with the style that they play, Derrick Henry likes to have the quarterback under center. Malik Willis doesn't like that, so it just doesn't line up philosophically. Maybe they tried to move Derrick Henry and say, we need to move off this offense a little bit.
Trying to go a whole other way, yeah.
And it just didn't work out. But also, I think Tannehill is coming off of an injury, right? So there was
he
also
was banged up last year.
There was an element. I think he had a surgery right away in the offseason. So there was an element of, is he going to be back ready to go? Now the reports are that he's been rehabbing good. I could have made that up, though, honestly.
Definitely made that up. Allen Robinson back in the news because they were trying to ship him off about a month ago. The Rams are kind of making some headlines because obviously A-Rob wants out, or at least, the Rams are shopping him.
Being in on Odell again.
Oh, God, really? That sucks. I mean, for anybody who's trying to be in on Odell, which apparently is the New York Jets now. The New York Giants haven't ruled it out. What now? What do you got?
December 23rd, Ryan Tannehill underwent arthroscopic surgery on his
Arthroscopic's not the end of the world. It's like a knee draining. It's not like you just it's a cleanup, So I'm not.
That was mid-season. That was
That's why they ruled him out for the rest of the year. That's why Malik Willis had the last couple games. No, they didn't even. That's another thing, dude. When they played the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, it was the rookie, not even Malik Willis. It was the other guy, the journeyman.
Oh, I'm reading, but this is all like. This is like surgeries to get him to be able to play. So that means like off season they may have he was probably
but what I'm saying is even when it was time, or at least the opportunity showed itself for Malik Willis, they didn't even use him. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, so what are we doing here? Is there drafter's remorse? Did you not want to take this guy? Does he not fit your system at all? Like,
guys, he's a third-round pick,
I
so I guess
that.
It makes sense. When you draft
Dak was a fourth-round pick.
If you take a quarterback in the third round, you're definitely drafting him with the understanding that this guy may just be our backup. And that's okay, too, because a third-round pick on a backup quarterback.
But a backup for how long?
At least for 4 years.
A backup with the vision of being the starter?
Well, with the opportunity to maybe become the starter. But when you draft a guy in the third round, you're not investing insane capital because if Malik Willis is the backup, let's just say he's the backup for the next 3 years, right? Not terrible.
No, it's not. But right? I just, for him and his stock and everything like that over at Mojo, you would think, all right, what are we supposed to do with this guy?
Oh, no.
I would sell him right now.
Yeah, no.
What the hell?
I would just leave him alone. You're not, if you're in on Malik Willis, then.
You might have gotten in on him last year when the opportunity saw itself. But again, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how many people will be in on him.
So the Allen Robinson thing was one thing. But then I heard Sean McVay say, Matthew Stafford, 100%. Ready to roll. No limitations in the offseason. Last year we talked about it, how there's a possibility that there might have been a retirement involved with Matthew Stafford because he was just getting beat to crap every single time he's out there. And now, what do you got left to prove? You won yourself a Super Bowl, right? Like, you got that ring. You got all the money in the bag. What are we doing here? Because, look, the Rams, just based off of what I've seen, they haven't done anything astronomical to improve their team right now.
They've done
and McVay was convinced to come back.
This was a really bad football team last year, and they've gotten worse on their roster, I think. Maybe you could say that it might be better because it couldn't get much worse, and it's still an NFL team.
But you're getting Cooper Kupp back because he was hurt. Fine.
They lost their entire defense. Ramsey's gone. Their identity on defense.
Von Miller stayed.
Von Miller's on Buffalo.
Oh, that's right. Jesus Christ, that's a year ago. My
Yeah,
God. They lost a lot of things over there. Bobby Wagner left. That's what I meant to say.
They have some pieces on
Wagner
defense
left
still, but
after
like Aaron
one season.
Donald's still there, tentatively. I feel like Aaron Donald might get traded too.
No, stop it. He's got a lot of money. That's a lot of money to take on right now. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's the Rams. Yesterday,
You say it's not going to happen. You
not
act
gonna
like
happen.
there's not a contract like that's been moved before.
I ha-
Quarterbacks get moved.
defensively,
Quarterbacks get moved.
Defensively.
Look, if Aaron Donald became available, teams will line up 100% because
don't take this the wrong way. People like sometimes Dave's got some takes that are just right. Aaron Donald is good. He's great. I think he's a little overrated.
Ooh.
And I say that because when you're a defensive tackle, and I understand this, and this is not a knock on any defensive tackles, because the Cowboys re-signed Jonathan Hankins last night, and I was beaming. I was like, yeah, we got the big man in the middle. I just feel like you want to talk about a position, and this goes for defensive line as a whole. I understand that defensive line, the games are won in the trenches, all that jazz, right? And that's the rhetoric, and everybody is in on that. However, I will say, yeah, you have astronomical seasons like a guy like a TJ Watt will have, or Parsons, or when JJ was in his prime, and they're racking up numbers. Great. But when you're a defensive tackle, you're not getting to the quarterback as much. Your sack numbers are not that great, which, again, I'm not going to rank him based off sack numbers because he does so much more. But I just you're really going to justify paying that man all that money in the middle of the defensive line?
well, there's two.
Again, I'm not knocking it, but I'm
elements of
sort of
this.
knocking it, I guess.
It's like if you're going to give up something to get Aaron Donald, you're most likely not going to have to pay the whole contract. Because the Rams
I would
are trying to
assume.
get out
I would
from
assume
underneath
that
it.
would be
there would be
the holdup. If
there would be
anything.
some alleviation there, and then the capital would be less because you're taking on less of the contract. So, but teams would be lining up for Aaron Donald, and I think prepare to not clip that one, because if you clip that one, you're going to be.
Oh, I'm not clipping that one.
Yeah, you're going to get ripped apart because.
So all you loyal watchers
bro,
every day will see that.
Watch the film on Aaron Donald. That's all I need to see.
Listen, he's a beast.
When you look at him at the point of impact, when you look at him and you ask offensive interior lineman who the best.
Maybe
who the
overrated
best
wasn't the
player in football
right.
is.
Maybe overrated is not the right word because I do think he's an animal. But I'm talking about the price for that position might be a little too high.
You can make the case that he may be, he may be past the point of giving a shit in terms of he's at a point in his career now where he's paid, he's got a Super Bowl, he's flirted with retirement for a couple seasons now. So you can make that case, but at the end of it, you're probably not looking at give up too much because it's not a quarterback at the end of it all. I think a team would definitely be in on Aaron Donald, and they're trading everybody else. To get back to the Matthew Stafford aspect of it, yeah, he's good to go for now, but their offensive line is still garbage. So how long is he going to be good to go when you got to play the 49ers twice? You got to just go through the NFL.
Right, go through training camp, go through everything.
I'm gonna. That's I got to see it to believe it that Stafford's healthy. He hasn't been healthy. Even the year that they won the Super Bowl, it was an anomaly that they even got him right, because that same year he had a month where he threw 6 pick sixes in a row.
And he didn't help that girl up who fell off the stage.
I'd give him the pass on that one.
Do you?
Yeah, 100%.
Me too.
Anyway, supposed to do?
There are some new IPOs on the Mojo Market, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting stuff because, look, we're right there. The season's about to start, and all of a sudden, you got some new guys to invest in. And I read the article yesterday on the Mojo app. It's on mojo.com by Travis May. He's real good, real knee-deep in all the college, the new recruits coming into the NFL draft. There was a couple, I don't want to say red flags, but a couple things that made me raise my eyebrows. I don't agree with that. Again, I don't set the prices. I am not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. But Bijan Robinson, talk about him first, coming in. There are mock drafts that have him at the back end of round 1. There are mock drafts that have him as a top 10 pick. Bijan Robinson is going to be a stud, right? That's the assumption. He's coming in with an opening price of $13.51. Now, to give you some context, Breece Hall is right behind him at $13.29. So he's already better than Breece Hall. But then I saw him above Tony Pollard, above Kareem Hunt, above Najee Harris. The expectations are massive for this guy. If I'm looking at this guy and I'm seeing that the rankings underneath him are guys that I invested in last year because I coveted their future, how do you see this playing out for Bijan? And does it matter with his draft stock? where he goes.
Well, yes, it does. The probability that he lands on a decent team is high because running backs don't typically go that high in the draft. So I think he's going to probably be in a spot where you're like, wow, they added him. Oh my God, it's going to be a really interesting situation there. I don't mind it. As we look ahead, there's a couple maybe anomalies at receiver or tight end, but I don't really, it's hard for me to gauge the tight end position. So we're going to, I guess we'll just stick into Bijan right here in the Breece Hall. Breece Hall, how many games has Breece Hall got in the NFL?
Couple before he went down.
It looked like he was really good.
Looks like he was on pace
now he also
Rookie of the Year.
blew his knee out. So
Truth.
you have that element of it. So Breece Hall's coming off of a pretty significant injury. Bijan Robinson ideally going to land in a decent spot. No significant injury last year. Not a 16-game season. So he's kind
Workhorse,
of fresh.
but he is a workhorse.
And we're touting him as the potential, best running back prospect since Saquon, AP, that type of talent. I have no issue with that. In fact, I would say I'm buying on Bijan as soon as he's available, which he's available.
He is available right now.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go buy on Bijan right now. Go long. As far as Pollard goes, Pollard he's entering the point of his career where it's his second contract.
Not yet.
Third,
No,
second,
no.
He's entering the point of his career where
He's got a franchise tag right now, so he doesn't have a second contract yet.
Realistically, franchise tag is a second contract. To a degree, because it's a
1-year deal.
He's got to sign it.
Sure.
So
and he did.
He's on the point now where he's done with his rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his second contract. Whether it's a second long-term extension,
All right,
that's
fine.
to be debated.
I'll just agree to disagree.
But he's at the point in his career where we're talking second contract.
Sure.
That's where I'm at. And what has he done throughout his first contract? He showed flashes, but he doesn't have an insane amount of career bank value. He had Zeke with him the entire time.
He did rush for over 1,000 last year with Zeke on the team.
And now, as you look forward, Bijan Robinson probably ends up in a situation where he's the clear number one back this year, right away, year one.
Well, there's no more real clear number one backs anymore in the NFL.
There absolutely is. Josh Jacobs, Saquon.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean?
That's one.
There's
Jacobs
two.
Saquon's two.
I mean, I
Just
guess
two. There's only
Derrick
two.
Henry's three.
There's only three. All right,
Joe
everybody
Mixon.
calm down. No, because
Jonathan Taylor.
Well, Jonathan Taylor's banged up. I don't know about all that, but fine, he's the bell cow. All right, so there is bell cow running backs in the NFL still.
Now, everybody,
after all,
Dalvin Cook.
Madison's definitely cuts into his carries. Stop.
I'll give you time to look that up and check how many carries Madison had last year. There was games where he had one. I had him on my team all year waiting.
I had him in my stock portfolio waiting.
He did not do a thing last year.
Moving on to a wide receiver. We see that Jackson.
Oh, and Najee Harris, come on. He hasn't gotten more than 3 yards of carry in his career.
Calm down. I got a bunch of his rookie cards on my desk. Jackson Smith Njigba, 1056.
Kareem Hunt doesn't have a team right now.
That's very true, too. Jackson is above Michael Gallup, Alan Lazard, Darnell Mooney coming into the league. Now, again, it's a prove-it league. There's a million people out there that are they're either skeptical about this guy or they think he's going to be the next big thing. We can also say the same thing about Jordan Addison, who is right there as well. He's about 30 cents cheaper than a Jackson Smith and Jigba. But, I look at both of these guys and I'm like, all right, those are guys that might not land in a great spot. One of these guys is going to be the first receiver taken, meaning it's going to be a top 10 pick, you would assume.
It's looking like there might not be a receiver that goes until 11, 12, or around top 10. So you're entering the realm of...
He falls to 15. Any of these guys fall to 15. You snagging them. You run into the podium.
I hope Jordan Addison's there at 15. Jackson Smith and Jigba 100%. Either one of those guys are there. I wouldn't mind taking them 13 and 15 if we end up getting that 13th
the old
pick,
13th pick. Okay.
Ooh.
See about that.
Whammy, 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 no whammy.
Yeah, right. But yeah, again, I'm interested to see how these guys play out because of the fact that they're already priced higher than some of the guys that have been in this league already and have established themselves. The one that trips me up the most, Michael Mayer coming out of Notre Dame as the top-rated tight end, along with Kincaid. There's a lot of talk about him. But $8.83, he's already above Dalton Schultz, who had himself a decent year, earned himself a contract. Darren Waller, who just got dealt to the Giants, who's had himself a decent career after people wrote him off in Baltimore. He resurges. He's above him already. He's above Austin Hooper, Tyler Higbee, Noah Fant. So he's above all these guys going in. So clearly, there's a lot of hype about a Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it earlier. I have a hard time gauging a little bit on the tight ends in the Mojo market. The only one I'm really clearly interested in is Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey. I'm sticking with Kelsey. You know how he tried to say, oh, my last name is actually Kelsey?
I mean, they're on a podcast now at this point.
Break.
They're hi, this is Travis and Jason Kelsey. Not what are you trying to do? Don't screw it up.
But all the tight ends that he's above, if I'm looking at them, I have zero interest in any of them. Dalton Schultz, he's on the Texans now. Where did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Give me a break there, right?
They might have a brand new quarterback, though.
Darren Waller.
Schultz is going to be catching passes
I
from
like
C.J.
Darren Waller.
Stroud.
Good story, all that, and incredible story, but he's just on the downswing. He hasn't played. He's played 20 games over the last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah.
That's a problem, right? And that's probably going to continue to be a problem. Austin Hooper signed a big deal. Bust since then. Tyler Higbee. I'd say the only one on this list that's actually outplayed his expectations is Higbee, because as soon as Waller caught an expectation, he stunk. Dalton Schultz, he entered this season with pretty high expectations, contract year, a chance to make a ton of money, fell flat. Noah Fant, he's already been traded like twice, I feel like, in the NFL.
Just once, but yeah.
But you get it.
I get it.
It feels like twice.
Feels like it. But anyway.
Mayers, they're talking about him being the best tight end prospect since the last best tight end prospect.
Breaking. So that's that. In any event, got some ball to talk about before we get out of here. Some stars returned yesterday. Kevin Durant gets back. Big win from the Suns. Like I said, we are down to the last 6 games in the NBA regular season. The West is just ridiculous, as we said, from seeds. Let's see what I write down here. From seeds 5 through 10, 3-game separation with 6 to go for most teams. That's huge. They're going to be playing each other eventually. You know what I mean? So that's breaking it down. Devin Booker goes for 29. My Knicks get back on the winning side of things again as they beat the Heat 101-92. Julius Randle, I took his over yesterday because I was like, you know what? He's been chirping with Jimmy Buckets. He's going to go off tonight. You just wait. Julius Randle sprains his ankle. I don't know how long he's going to be out. That's such a blow as the Knicks are trying to approach the playoffs and play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round.
For the Knicks if he's hurt for even a remotely extended period.
They can rest him the rest of the way, which again 6 games, which is about 2 weeks worth. Right, you can rest them.
If it's a high ankle sprain, they're done.
I don't think it's a high ankle. I think it just rolled his ankle just like any other NBA guy does. Brunson got back yesterday. That's a relief. Quickly, another 24 points out of this guy, man. I'm telling you right now. I don't know what you could say more about Emmanuel Quickly other than the fact that he's a guy. He's a guy, right? He's a guy over there with the New York Knicks. He's found himself a role. He's up in the 6th Man of the Year award rankings and bets and odds on that. So that's interesting. Keep your eye on that. The Bucks. My God.
What do you pay what do you pay him?
I don't know. And he's a rook, or a two-year guy. So yeah, I don't think I have to worry about it right off the bat. The Bucks dropped 149 points in regulation yesterday. Drew Holiday, 51 points. Is there anybody that's going to beat this team, Chris? The Bucks seem like they are a juggernaut of a team over there in the East, and right now they're cruising into the 1 seed. They're going to do their thing. Giannis is Giannis, and I just look at this team like. I said it before in pre. I was like, man, they're going to be a hard out. They might not be an out. I don't know if they lose to anybody. Does anybody stack up against them in the East? Honestly,
no. I don't think
unless they finally find themselves against maybe Boston.
Teams stack up against them
Philly.
because when you look at matchup on paper, they don't really scare you. It's like Giannis. They definitely have a good team, but and their experience. I just think that nobody's beaten them in a 7-game series at all. Period. Maybe the Sixers. Maybe because
if Joel Embiid's healthy, yeah, sure.
And Harden, but. Harden just doesn't. I don't know, man. Harden has to prove it to me. He's at the wrong time in his career to be able to prove it because he's not able to do what he was able to do 5 years ago. But I just don't see it. Embiid is that dude that could potentially match a Giannis in a playoff series, but Philly's just not showing up. In the postseason. It's going to be Milwaukee against Denver, I hope.
Speaking of the 76ers, they beat the Dallas Mavericks yesterday, 116-108. The Mavericks just can't get out of their own way, man. They showed some signs of hope the other night. Last night, they drop another game. Right now, as it stands, Dallas is on the outside looking in. When I say outside, I mean the 11. So they're not even in that 9-10 game right now. That would be a catastrophic blow to that organization. Mark Cuban will probably have a fire sale. It'll just be a mess in Dallas if they don't even make that play-in series or the play-in playoffs, rather. It's crazy.
Yeah, the NBA ain't going to be happy about that either.
No, not at all. Anthony Davis drops 38 points. The Lakers get themselves another dub over the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves right now are actually playing the Lakers if the playoffs started today in that the play-in series of 7-8. So very curious. I did see... Did you see this one story before we get off? I mean, we can kind of get off the NBA a little bit, but did you see Bronny and his NIL deals?
Yeah, it's like a valuation of like $7 million.
$7.2 million for a guy who hasn't played in the NBA
I would say that's
yet.
a little low.
Dude, That's a lot of money, man.
That's low.
It's a lot
He's
of
gonna
money.
get way more than that.
Oh, it's like so much
Bro.
money for a kid. I
Bro.
just hope he does the right thing. Look, he's got the
What are
right
they
guidance as
even
LeBron.
Like, at
but
what point do they stop the valuation at 7? Why only 7?
it's right now is what it stands at.
Yeah, but you
like
don't
right
think-
now in March, it's 7.2. In May, I don't know. Adidas might pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden,
I don't know that it's actually like what he's making current.
I don't know.
I think it's like,
But it's just-
like a projection that he's going to make when he gets into college.
just crazy money, man. Crazy money.
I think 7 million's low, super low.
Probably will be.
He's going to have his own shoe. He's signing one of ones already. He's like in with all the card companies. Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Bronny?
Yeah.
What's he signing?
Well, I mean, like, first of all, he's probably not the only one, but he's signing cards.
He's got cards.
100%.
How's he
They're
have
not.
cards?
They might not be released yet, but I definitely saw him on social media the other day signing his cards, and it was like, Bronny's first signing session. No, you don't want me.
Insane. Anyway, follow us right now on the Mojo app. Specifically that. That's how we get all these new IPOs over there.
Panthers and Raiders met with Anthony Richardson.
Who?
Panthers and Raiders.
Okay. Follow us, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, at Mojo, MOJO. Very easy to find us. Join the Discord right now. That's where all the conversation's happening. Obviously, keep your eyes on all these new IPOs. A lot of people are buying in. The other day, Bijan Robinson was the highest traded player within the entire market on Mojo. So clearly people are getting in on him now. Chris has told you to get in on him now. I'm telling you, why not? I'm telling you, I don't understand the price, being better than my man Tony Pollard. But again, I digress with that one. I won't get too far into it. You got a lot of news over there or what? Is there just a lot of stuff happening?
There's interesting stuff. But
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow right here on the Mojo Market Report. So for Dave Sturchio, Chris Gueci checking the wire right now. This has been another episode of the Mojo Market Report. Back here tomorrow on a Feel Good Friday. See you guys later.
Yeah.